This is Gemara Shana Daf Lamed Hey, the final daf in this fabulous Masechtas of Rosh HaShanah. The learning of this week has been generously sponsored anonymously. The learning of the entire Chabura. As we conclude and we celebrate and we commit to Chazer Rosh Hashanah, should be a tremendous chos for Pesha Bas Meir. She should have a complete recovery. As well as this learning, as well as and we pick it up. We are on a base. We're about 8 lines from the wide lines. Says the Gemara at the two dots, and we said in the Mishnah, this doesn't mean he does not mean the bracha. It means he made the bracha is a musaf. He davened musaf already, and then he gets a shofar. What does he do now? Tkiya, trua, tkiya 3 times. Tkiya, trua, tkiya, tkiya, trua, tkiya. Says the Gemara, the reason we have this thing is that he did not have the shofar in the beginning. That's why he's allowed to blow afterwards. If he had the shofar in the beginning, if he had the shofar in the beginning, when should he hear the shofar? Aseder brachos. He's supposed to hear the shofar with the reading of the Shemona Esrei, with the brachos, with the malchis, the chronos, and shofar. Says the Gemara, a story, 5 lines from the wide lines. He got up to daven. Amar leil shamein. He was davening b'yechidus. He told his attendant, ki nahirna lach. When I signal to you, tak ali, blow for me. Amar le Rava, says Rava, what are you doing? La amru ala b'chavayir. You're only allowed to do that when you're b'chavayir, when you're with the congregation. But when you're davening by yourself, you should not blow shofar, not like you Rav Papa just did. And now the Gemara brings a raya to Rava. Tananami Achi, I'll bring you a raya. Kshehu Shaiman says when you hear the shofar, Shaiman ala seidu, you share it in order. Val seidu brachos, and you should hear it in the order of the brachos. Dvar Mamurim, says the Brisa. What is this referring to? B'chaver year. Explicit in the Brisa only when you're with the Sibur. When you're not with the congregation, you're not with the tzibur, then what? Shaymin al seder, you hear it in the order. However, but not during the davening, not with the brachos. This is a raya that when you're not blowing shofar with the tzibur, you do not blow it during the Shemona Esrei. The yachid shaloi taka, and a yachid, a singular person, does not blow shofar. His friend could blow for him, and similarly, a singular person cannot make a bracha of shofar. A friend cannot make a bracha for him. Continues this brisa. Mitzvah b'toikin. And what is the mitzvah? It's a greater mitzvah, someone who blows more than one who davens. Meaning, if you have a choice, as the Gemara is about to explain, to go to a minyan or your shofar, it's better to be toikin than the bracha, referring to the tefillah. Keitzad explains the Gemara 3 lines into the white lines. Shtei ir yarais, 2 cities, bachas toikin bachas mevarchin. In one city they have a shofar, they blow shofar. In another city they daven mosaf. It's more important to the shofar b'tzibur than to daven with the tzibur. Says the Gemara, Pshita, Adaraisa, Adarabanan. What was your thought? The shofar said in Daraisa. We had so many different psukim we learned this from yesterday. And davening is Adarabanan. Says the Gemara, fascinating chiddush. It's a suffix. A suffix of a Daraisa beats out a vade of Darabanan. Let's play out the case. You know for sure there's a minyan davening, and again referring to Pashtus, a time when the Shliach Tzibur said the whole tefillah for you. So you know you're going to have that. Or you have a suffix, maybe you'll hear shofar. Says the Gemara, the suffix on the Daraisa wins. Says the Gemara, continuing 6 lines down, each and every person is obligated. And Rav Gamliel ended off the Mishnah by saying that the Chazin davens for all of us. Says the Gemara, Tanya, we learned in a Brisa. Amru Laila Rav Gamliel, they said, to Rav Gamliel. Again, Rav Gamliel said the Shlich Tzibur Kedaven for everyone. Lidvarecha, according to you, Rav Gamliel, Lama Tzibur Mispalim. If the Shlich Tzibur Kedaven for us, why are we davening ourselves? Amar Lahem, Rav Gamliel responds, you know why? Kedei lahazdir Shlich Tzibur Tfilasai. We are davening so that the Shlich Tzibur could prepare his tefillah. We're just giving the Shlich Tzibur time to get himself ready while we all daven. Says the Gemara. One more time, I lost the place. One more time, Rav Gamliel. Again, they said to Rav Gamliel, now Rav Gamliel said to the Rabbanan, according to you, if you hold that the Shlich Tzibur can't daven for everyone, why is he davening at all? He responded, in order for that person who doesn't know how to daven. Meaning, really, everyone davens for themselves. If someone doesn't know how to daven, then the Shlich Tzibur can daven for them. Amr Lahem, Rav Gamliel responds, and of course, in a nostalgic world, we know knew how to daven, the Shlich Tzibur davens for everyone else, but nowadays everyone davens for themselves. Says the Gemara, what's the maskana? Rav Yochanan, 6 lines from the end of the daf, Lamadalim and the base. Moedim Chachamim Rav Gamliel. The Chachamim are moeded to Rav Gamliel that everyone could potentially fulfill their obligation with the Shlich Tzibur. Rav Amar Adaini Machlekes. Rav says no, the Chachamim were not masking, and everyone has to daven for themselves. Says the Gemara, Shamei Rav Chia Bereid Rabbi Bar Nachmani. Rav Chia Bereid Rabbi Bar Nachmani heard that which Rabbi Chanah said in Rav Yochanan, that what? That the Chachamim were masking. He heard that the Chachamim said that you could be yoyted with the Shlich Tzibur. Also, Amar L'Shmaitza Kameid Rav Dimi Bar Chanina. So he told Rav Dimi Bar Chanina that the Shlich Tzibur could be yoyted to everyone else, and that the Chachamim were masking. Amar Le, Rav Dimi responds, Hachi Amar Rav. Adayini machlekes, it's not true. It's still a debate. The Chachamim were not maskim. Amar le, Rav Chia responds, Rabbi Bar Chani nami achi kamar. Rabbi Rav Chana said just like you that it's still a machlekes. Ki Amar Rav Yochanan lashmeitza ifleg. Alei l'reish lakish. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan said this din, that what? That the Chachamim were masking, if like alei l'reish lakish. Reish Lakish argued, v'amar, like we just said, adaini machlekes. We have 3 different stories showing that the Chachamim were not masking, and rather they still argue that each and every person has to daven for themselves. Says the Gemara, 1 second. Umiyam Rabbi Yochanan achi. Did Rabbi Yochanan really say that the Chachamim were masking that the Shlich Tzibur could daven for you? V'amar Rav Chanah tzipira, but Rav Chanah tzipira. Amar Rav Yochanan said, "Name Rav Yochanan hilchasat." Rav Gamliel said that halacha is like Rav Gamliel. What does that show us? Hilchasat. The fact is that halacha is like Rav Gamliel. Michlal, that shows us the bligi. That shows the Chachamim argue. So seemingly the Chachamim were not masking to Rav Gamliel. You just said over the name of Rav Yochanan that the Chachamim were masking to Rav Gamliel, but for the fact that they said in the name of Rav Gamliel, hilchasat shows the Chachamim were not masking. Says the Gemara. We turn over to the last Amid Lamriyam and Aleph. Kisalik Rav Abba, when Rav Abba came back, Miyamai, when he came back from the ocean, Pirsha, he explained as follows. Moedim Chacham Rav Gamliel, the Chacham Ramoid Rav Gamliel, that what? Bebracha shel Rosh HaShanah v'shel Yom Kippurim. They were masking for Rosh HaShanah and Yom Kippur and Yovel, and v'alacha mechlal de bligi. And as well, the halacha follows Rav Gamliel, which shows that he argues bebrachos t'chol HaShanah. We have a bit of a pshara. When it comes to Rosh HaShanah and Yom Kippur, lengthy daven, then we're masking. It's seemingly the Chacham were masking. He explained. That's what Rav Abba said. But when it comes the whole year long, then the Chachamim say, no, each person have to daven for themselves. Eini continues the Gemara 4 lines down. Is that true? He's basking like Rav Gamliel and Rosh HaShanah Yom Kippur. What does that show? It's like Rav Gamliel, showing us the Chachamim still argue. Again, the fascinating machlekes. Did the Chachamim masking to Rav Gamliel that you do not have to daven? We keep on proving that we paskin this way. Shows they still argue, but you just said not. Says the Gemara, Ella Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak man Maidim. What does it mean? That according to Rav Yochanan that they were a Maida, Rabbi Meir. That was our Meir. V'halacha mechlal de beligi. That is Rabbanon. And Titania, we have a brayso that says as such. Brachos Rosh HaShanah Shavim Kippurim. Shliach Sibur Mighty Aram Dichayvas and Divi Rav Meir. Rav Meir was of the opinion that the Shliach Sibur can be mighty. The Chachamim Aimrim Kishim Shliach Sibur Chayev Kach Kol Yachav Yachav Chayev. Says the Gemara, and that is the reconciliation. That is how we come out. That one is Rav Meir and one is the Chachamim. Says the Gemara, Maishna honey. Why are these tefillos any different? It seems like there's some difference. It's true they're longer, but why are the tefillos of Rosh HaShanah and Yom Kippur more different than the tefillah of the whole year? Elam, if you're going to tell me, you're going to tell me very simple because there's more psukim and not everyone knows them. That can't be. Rav Chananel is the name of Rav. If you were to say that's it. That's all you have to say. You were say you're din me'ikar adin. So what is the reason why we're more forgiving, more willing to say the Rosh HaShanah Yom Kippur? You could be yoytze with the Shliach Sibur. Elu misham, you know why? The avshei brachos. There are a lot of brachos that not everyone can remember. And that is the potential reason why the Chachamim might have been maskim to Rav Gamliel. The Musaf on Rosh HaShanah and Yom Kippur have 9 brachas like we've spoken about. The brachas of Malchias, the brachas of Zichronis, and the brachas of Shayfras. And people come confused because you only say it once a year. Says the Gemara, Kufa. Let's go into that which Rav Chananel just said. You don't have to say anything else. We think from this, that's only if you're by yourself. If you're by yourself and you know nothing else, just say but in the tzibur, it's not true. You have to say all the psukim. But says the Gemara, it's not true. Amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi, echad yachad echad tzibur, ki v'sha'amar b'tzaras l'kasel leimar, shov einay tzarech. Once you say that, you are yoytze your obligation of tefillah on Rosh HaShanah and Yom Kippur. And Amar Rav Elazar on the first medium-sized line, the related halacha, Lo'ilam yisader adam tefillasai, v'achar kach yispalel. So first, put your mind in order, gather your brain, make sure you have the tefillah straight, and then you should daven. Amar Rav Abba says Rav Abba mistavra milsad Rav Elazar. That which Rav Elazar said is mistavra bebracha shel Rosh HaShanah v'shel Yom Kippurim v'shel prakim and special occasions like other Yomim Tovim. Avol dechol Hashana lai, but the rest of the year that's not true. You don't necessarily have to stop and think about them before you say it because we're all familiar with all the brachos. Says the Gemara, Aini, is that true? Rav Yehuda Rav Yehuda every single day would arrange his tefillah and daven. Not like you just said it's only on special occasions, Rosh HaShanah, Yom Kippur, and Yantif. Answers the Gemara, Shiny Rav Yehuda. Kima de matzlin yoyma litzlasin yoyma have a matzlin. Rav Yehuda would only daven only once in 30 days. Therefore, kiprakim dami. It was like a brakim. Rav Yehuda, since he was so engrossed in his learning, he did not have to daven, as Rashi over here points out. He would review the entire Torah, all his learning every 30 days. So he was pater from tefillah. So because he only daven once in every 30 days, he had to put it in order. But the rest of us that don't have such a patur, we're not Isaac in Torah at that high level, we have to daven each and every day. Says the Gemara, finally concluding the opinion of Rav Gamliel, whether the Sheikh Sibur can daven for us. Amar Rav Acha bar Rav Ira, Amar Rav Shimon Chasida. Rav Gamliel would exempt even those davening in the fields. He would say that the Shliach Tzibur is yoy to you. A bigger chiddush. We were discussing the whole first part of today's shir. Was the Shliach Tzibur yoy to each people are in shul? Says Rav Gamliel, not only the people in shul, even the people in the field are yoy to with the Shliach Tzibur. Says the Gemara, and needless to say, that Rav Gamliel says those who are here are yotzei. 1 second, Adarab, it should be the opposite. Hani anisi, hani lo anisi. Those who are not here, they have no choice. So very good, the Shliach Tzibur can be yotzei them out there. But those in shul, they have a choice. They should stand for yourself. So you're making it sound like you're yotzei those in the field and those in shul. It's not true. Maybe those in the field, but not in shul. And what's the precedent for this? The Tani Abba Breder Rav Binyamin Rachia. Am shachar Divrei Kohanim. This brings us back all the way back to the Gemara in Brachos. It says Sait over here. I thought it was Brachos. Either way, that says that when it comes to Birchas Kohanim, the people that are behind the Kohanim, in a Bechal Bracha, they're not included in the Bracha. Yet we know that those who are on the field are yes included. Eloki Asa, Rabin, Amar, Rav Yaakov, Aridi, Amar, Rav Shimon Chasida, Loi Potter, Rav Gamliel, Elo Am Shebesadais. When did Rav Gamliel say you're Yaiti with the Sheikh Sibra? If you're not there, you're an Einus and you couldn't make it. My time Musham Danisi Bimlacha, Aval Be'ir, but if you're there and you could have made it, Lo, you're not Yaiti, you have to daven for yourself. That's how the Gemara concludes. Hajjona Alach Yomtov. We should do a wonderful chazar of this last parak of Rosh HaShanah. Uslika Allah Misechs Rosh HaShanah. Mazel tov, mazel tov. And believe it or not, this is the quarter line. This is 25% way through Shas. I don't know how many could have believed about a little more than 2 years ago when we started Shas. We'd be sitting here, finishing a quarter of Shas together, concluding the Masechet Rosh HaShanah, and the bracha that we'll conclude is the same bracha that we started. Then Amir Hashem, we should have the clarity, the fire, to continue learning day by day with more clarity, with clear and concise, and everyone should do a wonderful chazara, and looking forward to continue learning many more Masechtas together, hopefully greeting and meeting everyone together with a fabulous SIYUM on Siddur Mayid, Amir Hashem, and Adar, and ultimately continue learning all of Shas together. Mazel tov, mazel tov.